Ain't amazing how God can always bring you back and say, hey, look what I've done for you before. If I had the nerve here, I'll tell you, a lot of times we take God for granted. Amen, Reverend Jones. A lot of times we never think about what he's already done. Amen. We never think about the goodness he's already gave to us. We're always looking at what I'm going through right now. Are y'all going to help me here? Y'all looking at me here? Yeah. But you have to always look back and say, hey, look, I know what you've done for me before. And if you've done it before, I know you can do it again. Amen. Amen. I look at those Hebrew men when they says, if he don't. They didn't say, look, they didn't say, look, I know you're going to do it again. They says, even if he don't. They says, he's able. Ain't that something? Wonder how did they come to that conclusion? I'll tell you how. Because God had brought them through some other things before. Amen. Brought them from the pit into the palace. I wish I had a witness in here. Gave them when they was eating straps. Gave them food from the king's table. Those are the same fellas. When they were stony, God enabled them to be strengthened by what the king was doing. And when they got to the furnace, they said, hey, he's done it before. Even if he don't do it, I know he's. Why? Because they looked back and saw what he'd already done for them before. So I encourage you, members, that when disruptions come, the best thing not to do is panic. But take inventory of your life. Amen. Amen. You know, there are times when the more vehicles we got won't go. And the first thing we do is get mad and get talking about it, get hot, and get disturbed. But look, you ought to thought about yesterday. It might be broke down today, but yesterday it got you to and fro. Y'all ain't gonna help me in here. Amen. You had it washed up and cleaned up yesterday. You were riding good. Amen. But just because it's broke down today, think about what it done brought you through. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me in here, are you? Amen. Amen. Little Milton said, if cars could talk. But you ought to be thankful of what God has done for you before. I like the way David took inventory of it. He said, look. I know when I remember things of old. When I look back over my life and see what you've already done for me. When I look back and see how far you have brought me. What are some of the things he done? David says, my life has been in danger before. And God always managed to make my enemies leave me alone. I've been hunted and sold. But God always gave me victory over my enemies. Is that witness in here? Yeah, I've been a hated man. But God always managed to deliver me. And I like the way he says here is, when I look back over the days of old, I can rejoice because of how good God has been to me. And that's what the more folks get it and said, I know you hadn't brought me this far to leave me alone. And so David says, the best thing I can do is when I remember I've learned how to rely on God. It was a time of reliance, right after a time of remembrance. And so he says here, David knew that he couldn't produce what he needed in his own life. Have you ever been there? You ever got to a place where your life is disrupted and you can't help your situation? None. Have you ever got to a place where you tried all you could to fix your disruption in your life and you couldn't do it on your own? But David says here, I've learned how to trust in God. Good evening, St. James. I'm finishing now. I wish I could go a little further, but he says here, I may have a disruption in my life, but my disruption is caused and designed especially for me. I don't know what are you going through, but whatever it is, it's designed especially for you. That's why I never say in certain situations what I will do. Whatever somebody else is going through, I never say, look, this is what I would do. Because what are you going through is maybe designed just for you. Is there a witness in here? You deal with what you dealing with. Maybe deal with it different from me. But what I've learned to do is I've learned, I'm like David here, to trust in God. I've learned how to depend on him. And one thing I found out, he's never failed me yet. I've learned how to stand on him. And every time disruption comes in my life, God always bring me through. Every time the sailing is not smooth anymore and my stormy seas show up, God has a way of controlling my sea. Is there a witness here? Whenever my life look like it's falling apart, I don't panic because I know it's a purpose for it, and God always fixes it. Is there a witness in here? Good morning. I hope I didn't keep you too long. I tried to make up for yesterday, but not keeping you in here too long. But I need you to pray with me here because David said, I've learned to trust in you. That's what he says there if you read it. I trust in the Lord. That's what I'm doing right now. I know it looks like somebody probably said he ain't coming to church today. Somebody else gonna preach. But let me just tell you here, I'm not trusting in my own feelings. I've got to trust in God. Is there a witness in here? I'm through here, St. James. Is there anybody here? Have you learned to trust in God? If you're a witness in here, and if you're able, would you do me a favor? Would you stand with me and say yes? Say yes. Yeah. Any
all right? Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? I know he's all right.